Namaste. Hello. I am Save the Frogs founder, Dr. Carrie Krieger. Welcome to a South Asia Meetup, June 29th, 2024. These meetups take place every month on the last Saturday, so please spread the word, get some friends and colleagues here. And I'm going to turn it over to Sarbani Nag of Save the Frogs, India. Sarbani, hello.
Hi. Uh, so Save the Frogs India has started its journey from 2019 as a registered trust, and we are committed to raise awareness about amphibians, the least talked animals, because I think that we should do something for them. And thanks to Save the Frogs and Dr. Kerry Krieger for all the support that and we have started this monthly meeting. And last month, our speaker was Dr. Karthikeyan Vasudevan. And this month, we are lucky to have Hassan Al-Razi Chayan from Bangladesh. And he will be talking about the story of a decade of amphibian research and conservation. So I will give a brief intro of Hassan, and then it will be over to Hassan to start his story. And we are all eagerly waiting to listen from him. Hassan is a prominent wildlife biologist from Bangladesh. He received his Bachelor of Science degree in zoology from Jagannath University in 2015 and his Master of Science degree in wildlife and biodiversity conservation from the same university in 2017. He is currently a PhD student at the School of Human Science, University of Western Australia, where he is studying the behavioral ecology of primates. From 2012 to 2021, he focused on amphibian research and conservation in addition to his primate research and conservation work. Consequently, he described three new frog species from Bangladesh using morphological and molecular approaches. Since 2013, he has been involved with Save the Frogs. In 2013 and 2015, he arranged Save the Frogs Day in Bangladesh. So, with this brief intro, it's over to Hassan. We all are eagerly waiting.
Thank you, Didi, for inviting me. Uh, you already gave the introduction of mine, so there is nothing to introduce me. But can you see the slide?
Yes.
Yes. Yeah. So again, I want to say I'm Hassan, a wildlife biologist from Bangladesh, and I have been working on various wildlife more than 12 years. And now currently I am a PhD student of University of Western Australia. Though today I am going to present my work on amphibians, but now I am not involved with amphibians. For my PhD, I have been working on the behavior of primate, especially the behavioral thermoregulation of chimpanzees in Nyungwe National Park. Nyungwe National Park is a high altitude forest in Rwanda.
Hassan, can you start the
So now,
slideshow? The full slide.
yes, yeah, yes,
Thank you.
yeah. So today I will just share my different stories of amphibian research in Bangladesh. And the story begins very beginning of my university life. Actually, I worked on different animal groups like birds, herpetofauna, mammals, and especially the primates. I tried to work parallelly on herpetofauna and primates together. The story begins when I started my bachelor degree in the Department of Zoology, Jagannath University in 2011. That time, there was a flow of research in my department, in our department. And I'm lucky that I met a group of young researchers that time. And I am proud to say that I am a product of that flow. So that time, many young researchers from our department used to go to birding as a part of fieldwork. And like others, I started my fieldwork with birding. And in 2011 and 12, I read several news about one frog. That frog has been described from Bangladesh by a young researcher of Chittagong University. And that researcher collected the frog from their own campus and named it Physaveria asmoti, though now it is Minervaria asmoti. The name of the genus has been changed. And the asmoti name came from the professor, Dr. Kaji Asmot, a professor of Chittagong University. And this news just poked my brain. And I was thinking about my own species, that I can also describe a new species from Bangladesh. It was becoming my dream. And I can say this guy, Sajid Ali Hauladar, is my inspiration for amphibian work. And that from that paper, I came to know that there is a huge possibility to find out more new frog species, amphibian species from Bangladesh. So I tried to search. I started to search the frogs and tried to identify properly. I started reading several articles about frog taxonomy, the conservation, the ecological value, etc. And it is the beginning of my amphibian. It was the beginning of my amphibian research. At the same time, as I said, I did parallelly did the research and conservation work. As a part of the conservation work, for the first time in Jagannath University, I arranged Save the Frog 2013. I arranged it in Rangpur district, in my home district. I selected that part because that part is always ignored ignored for conservation work, uh, and people are not aware about the uh, ecological value of amphibians, especially the frogs. So I selected that area, and one of our professors, Dr. Abdul Baki sir, gave a speech about the importance of frog for the ecology and for the agriculture. And school going students enjoyed that speech, and uh, they committed to conserve the amphibians in that area. And then I decided to decided to do my own amphibian research. And doing any research and conservation work, first of all, we need fund for the work. And for that, I applied to the Explorers Club to work in Rangpur district. And luckily, I found a little amount of money for that. And I selected Rangpur district because that was my home district. And as I said, that place is totally ignored on the aspect of wildlife research. And another reason is as my home district, so I can continue my work with a little amount of money that is possible there. So, and especially I focused on the city corporation, Rangpur City Corporation area, because at that time, that area declared as a city corporation. And, after that, the urbanization can rise rapidly. So my plan is to at least do a checklist of amphibians of that area. So any other researcher can compare this data after 10 or 20 or 50 years. So before the rapid growing of urban areas, I tried to make a checklist of amphibians of that area. And after my survey, I found a total of 8 amphibian species in that city. Most of the species are common, like bullfrog, common tree frog, microhyla frog, steeper frog. But I found one species that was interesting, that is the Humerana humeralis, commonly known as the Bamo frog. That time, founding this species in Rangpur district was quite interesting, because in that time we thought that this species distribution is confined to the northeast, southeast region of Bangladesh. That means the hill tracts of Bangladesh. But I found the species in a plain land, in a lowland in Rangpur district. That was quite interesting, and that's why I published that distribution data. But now we know this is very common species. Even maybe the species is this species is widely distributed in the whole country, even also in the North Bengal and in Assam. So it has a very wide distribution range. But at that time, it was an interesting record. In the same year, 2014, I also conducted another research and conservation work in Satchuri National Park as a part of my BSc thesis. In our university, we need to do a very small thesis work for our BSc bachelor degree. And I selected Satchuri National Park because I tried to explore some forest species, because previously I worked on the urban urban amphibians. So this time I focused on the forest amphibians. And in Satchuri, I found a total of 12 species of amphibians. And I believe that this number is not 12 now, it increased because now people are working on the amphibians in that area. So I believe that the number is not 12. In the same year, I also arranged another set the frog day in that area as a part of my conservation work. I tried to deliver the message of the importance of amphibians species for forest ecosystem, also for the agriculture. And the forest, some forest adjacent people are used to eat a frog, they consume frog. So I try to give the message that we shouldn't eat the frog, because nowadays we have so many sorts of protein. So we can avoid eating frog, because the population of frogs are declining day by day. So that was the main aim of that Save the Frog Day in Satchuri National Park area. And starting of a new phase. I'm talking this as a new phase. I will describe the reason later, but here you can see a logo, Bangladesh Slow Loris Research and Conservation Project, and this is a slow loris. We know that slow lorises are nocturnal animal, and amphibians are also nocturnal. So I tried to grab the opportunity to work on the nocturnal primate and amphibians parallelly. And I always try to take the chance, how can I survey the slow lorises and amphibians anytime. And I believe that effort was fruitful. And after a few months, we recorded a bush frog from Shatshuri National Park during our slow loris survey. And we identified the species as Rauchestis longchuanensis. As I said before, that it's a new starting, new phase, because from that time, sorry, I started to use molecular approach and the call analysis. Before that, I identified the amphibians only from the morphometrics, from their measurement. But from 2015, I started using molecular approach to identify any frog. And by using molecular approach, we identified that species as Laurocystis longchuanensis. But here is a very sad story, because we identified that species as a wrong species after even after doing the molecular approach, because some researchers from China, they submitted wrong sequence to the gene bank, and they used the name Rauchestis longchuanensis. And when I found the matching of that sequence with our sequence, I decided it as Rauchestis longchuanensis. Though when I doing my morphometrics work, I found some dissimilarities with Rauchestis longchuanensis. But that time we give the priority to the molecular analysis, and we published this paper with the ID of Rauchestis longchuanensis. But after 1 year, a group of researchers from China, they described that species with as a new species, Rauchestis cangruensis, and they said that our identification was wrong, and that molecular, sorry, that gene sequence submitted as longchuanensis, that was also wrong. So unfortunately, we missed a new species, new to science species. That is the sad story. But within 1 year, we successfully described a new bush frog species from the same genus Rauchestis, and we named the species Rauchestis rezakani. Reza Khani is after the name of Dr. Reza Khan, who is one of the pioneers of wildlife research in Bangladesh. And to describe this, we collected the type specimens from Lawachora National Park and Adampur Reserve Forest of Northeast Bangladesh. And to describe this species, we use the molecular approach. We use 16S RNA of from mitochondrial DNA, and use sound analysis as well as the morphometrics, which is must. And interestingly, we found the call of this species is very different from the call of other species. Here you can hear the call. Just a minute. I think I should. Can you hear the sound?
Yes, Bhaiya, we can hear you.
Yes.
We cannot hear
The call of the frog?
I
no,
cannot
not the
hear
call
it.
of the frog.
Oh, it's not working. Just a minute. I can try again.
If
Why
you
don't
have
you
the file, just
unshare from Zoom, stop your screen share, and then start it again and make sure that the sound option is checked.
Okay, just a minute. Oh, I don't have that file in this laptop, so I'm sorry. I can say the call is like trick, trick, trick. If you see the video, you can realize that was the call of this frog. Actually, most of the species from the genus Biologist make call like tick 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 or tick 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 with different frequency, but these species can make a continuous call like brrr, brrr. So when I first heard the call of this species, I assumed that it could be a new species, and then I make a plan to describe this species, and there was a challenge to describe my first new species by using molecular approach, because I was totally unknown about the analysis, and there was no proper person who can show me how to do all of this analysis. So in my first paper, in longitudinal paper, I use the Mega software to describe that, so to analyze the molecular, to make the molecular phylogenetic tree, the phylogenetic tree. But when I trying to publish the paper for the new species, the reviewer suggested me to use Bayesian analysis, not only using the Mega. By using Mr. Bay, I should show the Bayesian analysis. So that was very tough for me, because the Bayesian analysis with Mr. Bay software was like kind of programming. You need to give the command, and then it will work. So I can remember I spent many nights to analyze the data, and when I finally able to analyze the data properly, that time I was in Lawa Chora National Park for field work, and I spent 10 hours to successfully run my sequences, and finally I found the phylogenetic tree, this tree. So that was very challenging. And another challenge to working on bush frog is searching and find out the bush frogs. You know, bush frogs are very tiny, like this size. And another problem is you can't find them out easily from their call, because their call always make an echo with the other elements. Like when we try to find out the bush frog, where you will realize that the sound is coming from right side. If you try to move right side, you will feel it's coming from my back or coming from the left side. It will puzzle you, totally puzzle you, and you need to stand at a time for 1 hour or 2 hours without any light to hear the sound properly, because if you throw the light, it will they will stop their calling. So either you have to use the red light, or you have to stand in a place without any light to find out a bush frog. That is very challenging. And this is our second new species. This time it's not a small frog, it's a big one, like this, and from the genus Leptobrachium. And interestingly, this is a very common frog. This is a very common frog, and this was very common frog in the northeast region. I believe that not only northeast region of Bangladesh, also in Tripura, also in Assam region, this frog is very common. If you go to a forest of northeast region and walk through a stream like this after sunset, either you will hear the call of this species, or you will see a mating pair near the stream like this. So it is very common, and it was very common, but this species got a wrong name. Researchers previously identified this species as Leptobrachium smithi, but if you see the map, you can see this is the location of Leptobrachium smithi, which is far from Bangladesh. The present location of Leptobrachium, this new species, which is Leptobrachium siloticum. So we plan to work on this species, but when we plan to describe this species or just check the proper taxonomy of this species, the COVID pandemic began that time. So it was very challenging for me, for us to go to the field to collect the sample and do the lab work. I'm very thankful to our Bangladesh Forest Department. They gave me a special permission to go to the forest with proper safety measure. And at that time, whole country went through a lockdown. We used a private vehicle with a special permission to go to the field and collect the specimen and did the lab work. At that time, all the molecular labs are very busy with COVID work. So it was also very difficult to work in the lab, but we did it. And finally, we named it after the place where we found the frog, that is Silet. And the name of the species is now Leptobrachium siloticum. And the third species, that is Ophidozyga soanbornorum. We collected the sample from the southeast region of Bangladesh from two wildlife sanctuaries. One is from Chunati Wildlife Sanctuary and another is Teknam. And this frog also had a wrong name. It was a misidentification. We known this frog as Ophidozyga lima. And if you see this distribution map of the different species of Ophidozyga genus, this is the place where you can find the Ophidozyga lima. This is the type locality. And here is Bangladesh. There is a very long distance between Bangladesh and this place, and there are other species from that genus between this gap. So from this, we again assume that it could be a new species in Bangladesh, or could be this species, which is very close to Bangladesh. So then we started working on it, and finally, after doing the molecular work and the morphometrics and sound analysis, we found this species as a new species, and we named it as Ophidozyga swanbornorum. Swanborn is a British family who the entire family is very dedicated for conservation. So we named after their family. And finally, we did a very interesting work on amphibians, that is biofluorescence. And nowadays, biofluorescence is a hot topic for the researcher. Now, many researchers are trying to see the ins and outs of the biofluorescence why animal produce this biofluorescence, what is the actual work of this. But we tried to did a very small work in Satsuni National Park. We surveyed the herpetofauna, and we use a very small UV torch to see either the species is producing biofluorescence or not. And we found only one amphibian species which produce biofluorescence, that is Microhyla badmuri. We found, you can see here, we found biofluorescence on their bodies, and we published that data on the Herpetozoa journal. We also found the biofluorescence some reptiles, but for amphibians, this is the only species we found biofluorescence. So this was my journey from 2012 to 2022. I tried to work on amphibians and tried to work on their conservation. And still, I am willing to work on the research and conservation of amphibians. If I get a chance and if I get time after my PhD, again, I will start my amphibians work beside my primate work. So this is for today, and thank you everyone. If you have any question, please ask me.
Thank you, Hassan, for your talk, and it was very informative, and how you have managed to do the work parallelly with slow lorries and the amphibians. It's amazing. And thank you for taking out time to tell us the story of your journey, a decade long. And probably there will be questions from the audience. But I have a question, like you have said that there is biofluorescence in one frog that you have mentioned. What may be the purpose of that biofluorescence in their life cycle?
As I said, this is still unknown, and researchers are working on this to find out the actual purpose of biofluorescence. Maybe there is, I saw a hypothesis that some species use biofluorescence to avoid their predator. Yeah. It could be a reason.
Okay, great. So if you have the video with you, the frog call video, can you just, not in the PowerPoint, can you just try to play it separately? If you have the video with you.
1 second.
The call is
Actually,
very interesting.
Using a different
frog.
laptop, but
Yes. Okay. And the call is like tick, 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 and you have mentioned a completely different call. So probably, if we can hear that call, or if you can share the video with us later, then we can actually share it with us.
Actually, I am using a different laptop where I don't have all data, but I can try with my phone.
So the audience, if you have any questions to our speaker, you can actually ask him.
I have a question for you. Hassan, can you hear me?
Just a minute.
Yeah, so
yes.
My name is Chayan. I am also a bacteriologist, and I just want to know, you showed the bioluminescence, right? It's bioluminescent, or is it when you show UV, it glows, fluorescence?
Fluorescence.
fluorescence. Okay, so the is
This
the
is fluorescence
behavior
luminescence. You can see, sorry.
no, I was interested in knowing, is there a behavior associated with showing that the underside of the body by this frog when there is any predator or something like that? Does it turn its belly to show its fluorescent colors? Because if it is sitting in a normal posture, the underside is not visible.
Exactly. But from the photo you can show, you can see the side, and we found the brightest color in the side portion. But you were right. If that frog want to show any kind of behavior, for it need to show the belly, that means a ventral side. But we didn't work on it, so it's very difficult to say about the behavior. Maybe someone can work on that. Yeah.
Thanks.
Any questions from any other participants?
Hi, Hassan. Can you tell us about Rwanda and if you've seen any frogs there and how you ended up there?
I'm so sorry, I had a network issue. Can you tell me again?
All right. I'm curious about Rwanda and if you've seen any frogs there, if there is amphibian research going on there, and what you're doing there and how you ended up there.
Here I'm just working on primates, that means chimpanzee, because it's a PhD work. It is very difficult to do any parallel work at a time with a PhD. So I'm just focusing on the primates. But in Rwanda, maybe there are some scope to working on amphibians, especially for the amphibian conservation, because I haven't seen any group working on the amphibians. Only in 2022, a German guy came in Niue National Park and described two new species from Niue. And beside this, I haven't seen any work here, either not even on conservation. And in some remote areas, maybe there are some people, they also consume the frogs as bushmeat. So there are a scope to award those people. But I can share one thing. This, like our country or like India, the amphibian diversity is not so rich here because of the temperature. That the temperature is very low and elevation is very high. So here is the fish diversity and amphibian diversity is very low, as far as I knew from the local scientists. So maybe that's why people are not interested working on amphibians here. But still, there is a scope to do some research and conservation work here.
Can you clarify, why do you think amphibian biodiversity is low there?
Because of the temperature and
What
elevation.
is the temperature?
In the forest, the temperature is like in the mountain forest, it's like less than 10. And
10 Celsius.
here is
Okay.
another problem.
That's
I
like
read
your,
about it.
yeah. Go on.
Yeah.
What's the other problem?
Other problem is here is the water temperature is always at least less than 4 to 6 degrees Celsius than the air temperature. So water is always cold here. That is the barrier for hatching the egg of fish and amphibians. Maybe that is a reason for less diversity.
Okay. All right. Anyone out there have questions?
I have one question for Hassan. Hassan, there was a situation where the eastern part of Bangladesh had a lot of refugees coming in from Myanmar, and a lot of habitat loss happened. Do you think because of that there has been some impact on amphibian populations in those areas? Are there any species that you are familiar which would have got compromised by this issue?
Yes, that's a good question. Actually, because of this Rohingya refugee, we already lost one wildlife sanctuary and one protected forest. In Ukhia, we had a wildlife sanctuary that is totally vanished. If you visit that area, you will see just the slum of the refugees. No trees, no stream, nothing. So, of course, some frog species with other animals are suffering for that, especially our species, the Okidozyga swanbonorum. This species is from that area, and of course, this species will suffer for this problem. And I saw a paper publication where I found that Okidozyga genus has a relationship with elephant. Like that, when elephant walk, there become a small hole where after rain, where you can get stagnant water, and that Okidozyga use that stagnant water for breeding. So there is a relationship with elephant and that species. And after that refugee, after coming the refugee, all elephant migrate from that area. So I guess that frog species will not get the proper habitat for breeding now. So it's just a big massacre there. uh, Biodiversity destruction.
But I haven't seen much written about it anywhere. I mean, it's such a geopolitical issue and its implications to conservation. I've not seen much talk written.
You will get a paper on science about that. Maybe the author is Sharif Mukul, uh, who wrote a conservation letter on science about that issue. Other than that, people are not willing to write about this because of political issues. If you want, you can't do everything in our regions. That is the problem.
Thank you,
So,
Hassan.
just a question, Hassan. Is it possible to prepare a map of previous and current situation of that area?
Actually, we tried to prepare a manuscript on this issue. Even The manuscript was 80% ready, but with that map, with also we predict the 50-50, what will happen 50 years later. But one of our leading author just give up that, maybe because of political issues. He guessed that maybe it will affect his job or something, and after that we give up that publication.
That's a serious thing, actually.
Yeah,
So,
yeah,
in your map, as you have shown that there are a few or only one or two locations for this one Bonoram, the Fujisaida. How many
yes.
locations? Okay. How
We
many
collected the sample from 2 locations, but we guess in Chittagong region, every forest has this species.
Okay, okay. So probably an extensive work later can reveal the
Mm.
real existence of that species in that area.
Yeah,
Okay.
exactly.
Okay, so thank you, Hassan, for your informative talk and the interaction. And if anyone has any question and write to us, then we can actually send the questions to you. And if you can give the answer, then we will upload the answers and the questions on the website. Over to Kerry.
Even better, everyone out there, we have a community on Discord. What is Discord? It's excellent free software that has forums. So we have a Save the Frogs forum. What's a forum? It's a place people can talk. And it's got a left sidebar with lots of different channels based on topic. So you can go find the India channel or South Asia. I think I made a South Asia channel in there. Just go find some relevant place, put your question, and
South
that's
Asia
the
channel you have created.
easiest place. Sarbani, do you have any announcements for people or any updates on your efforts? Because we've got 4 minutes minimum here.
Yes. So currently, Save the Frogs India is doing an internship program with renowned college in Kolkata, that is Ashutosh College. And we got 11 interns from that college, and they are undergraduate students. And according to the curriculum, they need to be given some hands-on experiences of how field works are done. So I took them to the field and I chose 3 fields. One is urban, one is not very urban, but not village also, and the last one is completely without any human interference. So in the first site, they got nothing. The second site, they got introduced to how we are looking for amphibians in field. They actually started following the calls, and then they found out from where the frogs are calling, and they started spotting as well. They got to know how we do the photography, but it was not a very good photography because we had less time. And the last field was awesome because in such a short of time, like half an hour time, we saw a lot of frogs, and the interns started like spotting the frogs and showing it to me that, ma'am, I've got this. Everyone was very excited about this. So that's the thing I wanted to share with them, how things are done and how interesting the frog world is. And once it gets dark, how the activity and the whole ambience change with the frog calls and their activities. And they actually did some very good things, very in a very professional way. They made flyers. They host an online essay competition, and they received 30 essays within 7 days. That's really good um, for them actually. And the essays quality, the quality of essays are really great. And we have thought of actually not declaring a winner because we are having problems in selecting one winner. And then actually what happened, we have talked to Dr. Krieger, and we have thought of publishing the whole essays on the website. And then they organized one school program, how we do the community outreach program and all. So they conducted the program, they interacted with the students, and thus they have been given hands-on experiences within a 15 days of time. The window was small, but the experience is great, I must say. Um, that's what I wanted to share with all of you. And many colleges have contacted us for this internship program, and we are thinking to do this in a very organized way. That's the update I wanted to share.
I have something to say that I've noticed recently. Hassan was a Save the Frogs volunteer. He helped set up Save the Frogs Day events in Bangladesh. Thank you for that. And there are at least 5 Bangladeshi Save the Frogs Day volunteer organizers who've gone on to get, I assume, scholarships to go to foreign countries and pursue their graduate work. So I don't know if that's just by chance or if they pick up good skills and good things to put on their resume CV when they're applying. But I encourage all of you to set up a Save the Frogs Day event, not just to help the frogs, but maybe it'll help your career as well. We have a question. Is Save the Frogs represented in the World Congress of Herpetology? I spoke at the World Congress in Manaus in 2008. That was probably my first official Save the Frogs presentation ever. And I spoke there along with former Save the Frogs staff member Michael Starkey in 2013 in Vancouver, but I have not been back since. I will be in Malaysia, but a month afterwards, so I'm not going to be there. But we have given out 2 or possibly even 3 travel grants for researchers. One is from Brazil and the other is from, I think, Chile, to go to Kuching, Malaysia for that conference. But yeah, I will not be there, but you may see a Save the Frogs logo at the end of their presentations. It sounds like you're going to be there. I'm not sure. Maybe Sarbani can.
Next year, I'm planning.
Oh, you're planning to go. Okay, well, I mean, it's this
Not
year.
this year, next year.
Well, the World Congress happens every maybe 4 years. Are you planning to go, Kartik?
Yeah, I'm planning to go.
Okay. All right.
If you
Well,
want me to carry
if you want to
something,
take anything there, I mean, I don't know, maybe there's some way I can send it, or I don't know if that's any easier, send it direct to Malaysia if you have a hotel or something like that, but maybe we should talk.
yeah, we'll do that.
All right, good. Let's see. I think that's about it. Everyone, we have a Save the Frogs Africa meetup. We've got a special presentation happening. That starts in maybe 2.5 hours. SaveTheFrogs.com/Africa is where you can register for that. We'll be back here in a month. If anyone ever has recommendations for guest presenters or ideas on what we should do during these events, then let us know or talk to Sarbani. And let's see, we have a Save the Frogs Bangladesh page, SaveTheFrogs.com/Bangladesh. We have a Save the Frogs India page, SaveTheFrogs.com/India. And if you use the search bar at the top of our site, you can find whatever else you're looking for. Anything else to add, Sarbani or Hassan?
No,
Yeah, sorry. Just I had a question. Who is the contact authority for Save the Frog Bangladesh now?
I guess that would be me. That's something I've been working on with Sarbani kind of being the first person is to get, well, I mean, Sarbani's been leading Save the Frogs India for several years, but I'm working on getting someone actually in charge of Save the Frogs, Bangladesh, and various other countries where we have significant amounts of unorganized activity. If you have suggestions, let me know, because I don't have a point person right now in Bangladesh. Nurul Islam is in Wisconsin. I may see him soon. He's in the USA. So yeah, if you have ideas, let me know, but probably what I'll do once I know what I want to happen specifically is create an application and send that around and have people apply if they want to take charge of Save the Frogs Bangladesh.
Yeah.
You have any thoughts?
Not now, but I asked that question because I have a small group of volunteer students. So next year we have a plan to start the Save the Frogs again. As I
Good.
said, I started it for the first time in our university.
At
Now other
Jagannath?
students, yeah, Jagannath, yeah,
Okay, good. Yeah, Jagannath has been involved in Save the Frogs A for a long time.
yeah. Now
Okay.
other
And I think
students
they
are
were
doing.
this year too. Actually, I'll look right now. Keep talking and I'll see what happened with Jagannath this year. Or if you have anything to say, keep talking.
Yeah, actually, others are doing, and I am planning to involve my volunteer group with this activity for from next time. So I will suggest them to apply for the
Okay.
set of
Yeah,
content
good.
celebration.
It's Atikul Me Too. I don't know if I'm saying his name right.
Article me
Atikul.
too. Me too.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he's in
Our
charge.
senior.
We sent a grant this year to him
Yeah.
or to
Yeah.
the university through him.
I know.
All right, good. I think that's it. Should we wrap up, Sarbani?
Yes, I can.
All right. A huge thank you to Hassan for sharing his story. Good luck with all your research. And thanks to Sarbani for getting the word out about these meetings. Sarbani, we now have a Save the Frogs India Instagram at Save the Frogs India. So if you're an Instagram user, get on that. We have a Facebook, Save the Frogs India. Is that a page or a group, Sarbani?
Page.
Okay. All right. So connect with us on social media. Go to savethefrogs.com/Discord. Check that out too. And we'll see you soon. Bye.
Bye.
Thank you. Thank you,
Thank you so much.
Savani Didi and Kerry and Save the Frog for inviting me for this presentation. See you
Keep up
again.
the good work, Hassan.
Thank you.
Okay. Bye.
Thank you.